DD214 Network podcast is for mature audiences only. Any videos, music, or entertainment not originating from DD214 Network is used and covered under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, also known as fair use. Opinions expressed are our own and do not represent any DoD or U.S. government entities as a whole. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. Viewer and listener discretion is advised. You are no longer alone now because we have you.
Welcome to the DD214 Network.
What's going on, everybody?
Where we get paid in half slices of pizza with no toppings.
I'll just take my payment in plates of bacon.
Oh fuck yeah, dude! That looks fucking delicious. Delicious.
How many pigs in the Garden of Eden did it take to get all that bacon?
I don't know, but it's probably goddamn
like
delicious.
Half of a fucking pig's ass. It's
Barely.
not even a whole fucking pig.
Barely. Yeah, it's like dude, it's sliced bacon. Like slice some bacon off your back. Blah. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's just thin strips of deliciously cooked goodness. You know what I mean? That's really what bacon is.
So since we decided to start out that way, here's what I'm gonna ask. Do you like your bacon crispy or a little bit chewy?
A little bit chewy.
I'm right in the middle. I'm right in the middle, but I do like that crunch to kind of mix it up a little bit, you know?
See, and that's more the little bit chewy side, because that's where you've got that crispiness where the fat's rendered just enough to where it's a little chewy, but it also kind of melts in your mouth. So I'm both. I like it a little bit chewy if I'm just eating the bacon. If it's like for a BLT or to go on a burger, I'd rather it be a little crispy, a little bit more on the crispier side.
Yeah. Yeah, I do like Dunkin' Donuts, right? Mm-hmm. They have their flavor. I don't know if you ever had their bacon there. It is amazing, and they put a bunch of sugar in it and pepper and stuff like that. It's good stuff, man.
Yeah,
and it's probably one of the best bacons. My wife has made it herself at home. I believe it's just I don't know.
It's maple cured bacon with some extra black pepper and shit on it.
There it is.
Oh,
yeah.
Have you guys ever made candy bacon?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
You ever do that shit?
That's good stuff.
Fucking around, make it just make bacon extra delicious. You know what I mean? On purpose.
So
you know what I mean?
So when I do my candied bacon, I take some skewers and I'll skewer the bacon. So I do candied bacon on a stick.
Okay, there you go. Yeah.
So I'll take the raw bacon, put it on the skewers, layer it out on a sheet pan, on a baking sheet and then I layer maple syrup into the pan and then I throw it in the oven to bake.
Perfect. What? Yeah, absolutely.
And as it bakes, that maple syrup caramelizes over the bacon, giving it a nice little candy crunch when you bite into it.
To be fair.
I literally just something just happened in my pants, so we got to. Yeah. What else we got? Okay,
what's that episode of Seinfeld? It moved.
I wouldn't know.
There's an episode where George Costanza gets a massage. He goes to get a physical therapy massage, and it's the dude that does the massage. So when he gets out, he walks up to Jerry. He's like, Jerry, I think it moved. And Jerry's like, what do you? It moved. He was like, yeah, it shifted to the left.
So it's just like 1990s like homophobia joke. Like is that like that was Seinfeld, right? Like is that what you said?
Yeah.
Seinfeld? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
so you asked what happened this week. Did you guys see the Logan Paul fight? Or
I didn't see it. The only thing I saw in the Logan Paul fight was them getting into a scuffle like the day before or whatever, like, and then like the dude getting clocked in the head with the freaking microphone. That's all I saw.
That's all I saw too.
Yeah, so I followed the whole fight from the beginning. I actually do like Dylan Dennis, and I'm always curious to see what the fuck Logan Paul is doing, like what the Paul brothers are doing. You know, it's a curiosity thing.
Please enlighten me because I'm not familiar with Dylan Dennis at all. So like who is Dylan Dennis and what's this whole like how did him and Logan Paul get into it and what is like the history of this shit? I'm curious.
Dylan Dennis is a New York jiu-jitsu martial artist. He does fight in the cage at several like underground promotions. He has been trained and has worked with Conor McGregor. I actually believe they're still like very close. But a lot of Dylan Dennis's career, you can actually say that, you know, Conor McGregor gave it to him because he always had Dylan Dennis by his side for a couple of his fights, had him for his trainings. He was part of his posse. He's not a bad fighter. He's very sensible. But he can't like cut a promo. You know, you put him in the WWE, the guy can't cut a promo for the life of him. But he's very honest when he talks and when he does like his face-offs and things like that.
Okay.
So the Paul brothers came to New York and they I don't remember or know what the context was of what they did in New York, but I remember that a bunch of people started throwing trash at the Paul brothers, and Dylan Dennis was a whole part of that. And I think the Paul brothers did something to Dennis's posse in New York, and that's what started this whole thing. So, you know, lo and behold,
a bunch of not classy people acted not classy, and like now we have a boxing fight.
Yeah. So the funny thing about this, that happened a couple years ago. This just built up. So we finally, you know, the fight happens. They're promoting it. So they do the first promo. They do a sit down. They're talking shit to each other. This is the buildup of the whole time, and they're getting really nasty with each other. Like they're getting real personal. Logan Paul is calling Dylan Dennis' mother a pay-for-play model. Dylan Dennis was saying that Logan Paul's soon-to-be wife is a whore.
Right.
Like yeah, you know, the typical, you know, your mother, your wife.
How fucking old are these guys? Just out of curiosity. I have to ask.
They're like what? Early 30s, mid 20s?
Late 20s, early 30s, somewhere in there. They're a bunch of immature idiots.
God damn, like grow the fuck. Like, dude, like, listen, we here at DD214 Network, I want to make it very clear, okay? We are all about staying in Neverland, having a good time, okay? Like sprinkling a little fairy dust once in a while, freaking like, you know, first start of the ride until morning. All right. But for the love of fuck, dude, like there's a big difference between having a good time and just being a fucking like disgusting jerk prick, like offense to the human race. You know what I mean? Like,
and so as we go on, you know, they have a couple face-offs, and this week there was actually a couple controversies that happened this week with the fight. Now we know
I saw the microphone looked like it fucking like God that could have fucking ended the fight if he had cut him up if he had cut him enough.
So that actually was Logan Paul's fault because Logan Paul acted.
I believe it.
You know, he threw a mic at him and then hit Dylan Dennis in the stomach, and you saw Dylan Dennis hit him in the face with the corner of the microphone, and then Logan Paul got hit in the head with a glass bottle like immediately after too. Bleeding after. So we come to the day of the fight, right? First off, Dylan Dennis hasn't showed up to the fight. He didn't show up to the fight until like 45 minutes before he even had to go on, which was crazy because Logan Paul has like 30-something lawsuits against Dylan Dennis for defamation, pictures being put on the internet without his permission. It's bullshit.
Dude, how small are these guys' dicks? I mean, seriously.
So let's get
now we're talking about one half of the fucking Paul brothers, and you know, bros. If you want to fucking sue me for defamation, I don't give a fuck. I've got can't get shit from me anyways.
I wouldn't even fucking acknowledge them. I would like if I saw them in a bar, I'd probably just fucking leave. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't even acknowledge those two.
Yeah.
Let alone
I've been in predicaments like that where I've been in a bar and there was somebody there that was just a complete fucking tool that I just was like,
yeah,
I left the fucking bar.
Yeah, it's like if they're in this room, like I'm not going to be. You know what I mean? Like that just it looks like
so.
Listen.
So yeah, I mean it's like so
yourself with that bullshit.
So we get to the fight, right? And tensions are high. They're still talking shit to each other. They don't touch gloves. And Dylan Dennis is not throw. He landed 9 punches throughout the whole fight.
Oh, right? Come on.
Now,
really?
Now now I like Dylan Dennis. I respect him as a fighter. I've seen a couple of
That doesn't sound like it was fun to watch. That does not sound like it was fun to watch.
Logan Paul is throwing his punches, and throughout the fight, they're hitting each other, right? So I'm thinking, okay, whatever. This is just okay. He's a jiu-jitsu fighter. He doesn't know how to box, whatever. But then we get to the last fucking round, and this is when I lose my respect for Dylan Dennis.
Please, because like I mean, I've already lost respect for like stepping into the ring with Logan Paul. But
so you read that there was a headlock. Yeah, the headlock happened, but then
hard no.
At the end of the fight, Dylan Dennis threw himself under Logan Paul and he jiu-jitsu grabbed him and he tackled him.
Is this before or after the bell rang?
The bell didn't. This was during the fight. This was near. There was about 20 seconds left of the fight, and
This sounds is this manufactured controversy? There's no way they would hate him that much that he wouldn't even box. It sounds like he didn't even box. Like the whole fight, John. You say he landed 9 punches?
He landed 9 punches and he went to he threw himself. So
go ahead, Joe. Go ahead, Joe.
So we're watching a fucking boxing match, obviously.
Yeah.
And this dumbass decides to try to go fucking MMA mode. That's what I'm understanding.
That's not boxing.
That's not.
This sounds like a manufactured controversy to generate fucking. Oh, bro, like these. I bet these two are totally fucking each other.
It's a Paul Brothers fucking ploy, like always. I mean,
people just got their money taken.
Here's the thing.
People got their money taken.
I dislike Logan Paul more than I dislike Jake Paul, and that's just from I've watched several of Jake Paul's fights.
Yeah,
and Jake Paul decided, hey, I want to start boxing. Started training and takes the sport fucking seriously.
And Jake's not going to do all this weird shit.
Logan Paul just got released from the fucking WWE within the last 6 months?
Yeah, maybe even sooner than that.
And then decides, hey, my brother's doing good as a fucking boxer. Let me throw my hat in the ring and see what the fuck happens. And then we got this bullshit where we've got a fucking BJJ fucking jiu-jitsu fucking martial artist trying to grapple in a fucking boxing match. All that is a fucking spectacle put on and a ploy. There was
terrible.
Where's the fucking sportsmanship? Like, boxing is one of the last great fucking sports we have left. And all they're doing is fucking making a mockery of it.
It was heartbreaking because why would you do that? You have a reputation already and your reputation just got flipped upside down because you wanted to make a stupid move because you don't like the guy.
I mean, yeah, back in the day we had, fucking Tyson biting people's ears off and shit. But that was just fucking Tyson because he's a fucking lunatic.
That was also still for the heavyweight championship of the world too.
Yeah.
Like there was actually shit on the line. That was an actual legitimate boxing match. And then that became a spectacle, but that was
I mean,
we're talking about a guy who, and again, like you were saying, Joe, and I like how you pointed that out. This is not about the athleticism of the Paul brothers. Nobody's really ever disputed that both of them are very athletically capable and very capable of,
and they're very good entertainers. I will give that to them. I've watched Logan Paul in the WWE since he came out into the WWE.
Yeah, he went over okay.
He went over okay. He had a couple great matches. Yeah. He did some fucking crazy shit in the fucking ring.
And Dylan Dennis during an interview, he did a lie detector test, And they asked him, do you respect any of his work? And he was like, I don't respect his work at all, but I think he did pretty good in the WWE. So even like other people recognize that he put the effort.
Yeah, that's
the work.
Their athleticism is not at all what we're worried about here. Like this is just
their character.
You know what you're getting when you fucking hang out with those two. You know exactly what you're getting when you hang out with those two. It's like we said earlier, if I walk into a fucking bar and either one of those guys are in there with their fucking posse or whoever I'm out. Like I am fucking out. Like I don't care. I don't care if it's my fucking.
Screw you guys! I'm going home.
I don't care if it's fucking my local neighborhood bar that I'm the fucking regular at. You know that like they would never fucking take them over me any day of the week. I would still walk out. I just don't. I don't want to be. I don't want to be anywhere in a radius around those. And they're like toxic.
I kind of have a situation similar, not with the Paul brothers, but another celebrity. And I use the fucking air quotes because it's a fucking very loose term nowadays. Because you become internet famous and all of a sudden you're a fucking celebrity nowadays.
Dude, there's actual celebrities that I could be 2 feet from and I would never have, like, you'd be like, Jay, are you crazy? Are you stupid? I'd be like, no, I literally don't know.
As long as it's
Elton John.
What's that?
For example, Elton John.
I would know Elton John, actually. I would know Elton John.
No, I'm saying like you, but you wouldn't like you said Elton John breathed behind your neck and you didn't even shake. So,
well, yeah, but that was different. I'm saying like there's celebrities that I would not know who they are.
Yeah,
like so, if I was like 2 feet away, like like
the main event, like KSI, you probably don't even know who the fuck KSI is. Yeah,
nope. I could be around people that are world famous, and I would never have a clue. And I'm just that like I'm not very pop culture friendly right now, and I don't watch a lot of stuff, so that's my fault. You know what I mean?
Like my specific incident was, and it wasn't like a dude celebrity or a boxer or sports entertainer or anything like that. It was fucking one of the stars from fucking Teen Mom.
Famous for getting like pregnant
at 16. Yeah. And I come back from fucking deployment. Me and the guys go down to fucking Wilmington, North Carolina. We're bar hopping, blowing a shit ton of money, just drinking. We're in one of the bars, and then in comes fucking Janelle Evans from fucking Teen Mom with her fucking bodyguards and shit. And one of the guys that was in my unit grew up right next door to Janelle. And the second she walked in, he was like, we got to go. Shit's about to get fucking.
What the fuck is that?
We're going to get.
Oh, yeah. Your thing did that thumbs up thing again. Boom.
What the fuck? What is that?
So that's a new feature in fucking Mac OS.
Boom.
Do that. Do more. Oh, whatever. So, hey, while we're still in the conversation of MMA, just real quick, Conor, and this is going to lead into this next bit.
Well, hey, hold on. I want to hear the rest of Joe's story. What the fuck? What happened with this? What happened with your army brothers and this fucking airhead? Fucking like
he walks up to us and he's like, "Let's go ahead and pay the tab. Go down to the next fucking bar," because apparently her posse was known for starting fights in bars, and we're a bunch of fucking MPs at a fucking bar. Obviously, we're not on duty. We just got back from deployment. We're trying to blow off steam, relax, have a good fucking time.
Fucked up.
We leave. I accidentally shoulder brush one of her fucking security guys, one of her bodyguards. He turns to swing on me. My buddy that says we need to go fucking just clocks him right in the jaw. And then we leave, go to the next bar. And then as we're at the next bar drinking, throwing beers back, throwing shots back, fucking cops show up at the fucking bar we just left because her security guys started fucking a huge fight over there. God, I need to turn that shit off.
No, it's nice. Keep it on.
That's what you get. That's what you get with a Mac, dude. Like just shit you don't want. Just extra fucking shit you don't want. Mm-hmm.
It's useful when I want it, but when I'm like pointing back like this and it does a thumbs up reaction, that's where it's a fucking problem.
Jesus.
But yeah, no, that's one of those cases of like, there's just, you've got those celebrities that you can just say, okay, these are going to be troublemakers. If I ever encounter them at a bar where there's any type of fucking drinking involved, I'm going to leave.
I mean,
I don't want to get fucking caught up in that bullshit.
I mean, look, we've all been there. Okay. Like, let's just be perfectly honest. Did you go out that night because you want to have a good time? Or did you go out that night because you're freaking like itching for trouble? And it's okay to admit that sometimes you're going out because you're itching for trouble, but just don't pretend it's, the other way. Like if you're just going out for a good time and you go to a place where like some trouble or some shit's about to go down, our advice here at the DD214 network is walk the fuck away. Like live to fight another day. Cause if you're looking to have a good time and somebody else is looking for trouble, you're going to have a bad time. Fucking, that's been your fucking friendly advice from fucking your neighborhood Jay. All right.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
Oh man.
So what else you got, John? Keep going. Keep going.
We're still on the talk of MMA. This is gonna lead into the next big thing that happened this week. So McGregor is back, baby. McGregor is back. Conor McGregor, that is.
Fucking joy.
Here we go.
But this leads into one of the wildest things that happened this week on why he's back.
Yep.
And if you just watch some of his later interviews, first off, the guy looks like he got a little weight in the cheeks, right? You know, he gained a little weight. He looks like he's in maybe the light heavyweight class now. You know, he's a little,
he got pretty stocky.
Yeah,
he got pretty stocky.
You know, but looking at his interviews and the way that he's speaking and the way that he's like addressing things, like he seems like he's grown up a little bit. You know, he's gone through that like ego phase now, and he's kind of like, he's been kind of like banished from every fucking promotion on earth, and whatever, he's been jailed.
People don't want the fucking trouble. People don't want the fucking trouble. That's
he punched an elderly guy in the face. And these are not. I'm not bringing this up to talk shit about them, but these are things that we remember, don't we?
Well, yeah, and that's also like things that just fucking happened like within the last like 5 or 6 years. Yeah. This is not that long ago. Yeah. This is not that long ago.
Yeah. So he's looking better. He's talking better. He's maybe. He seems like a little more focused now. He's got kids now. He's got the wife, but he
seemed really focused when he was on the way up. God damn it, Connor. What happened to you, man?
Yeah. And I mean, look, were we not sucking his asshole a couple years ago?
I used to love the guy. I used to fucking love the guy, dude.
We were still rooting for him after the Khabib fight.
Yeah.
We were still rooting for him. And, he said all those crazy disrespectful things about Khabib. And
it just got to be too much. It got to be too much, man. It just got to be too much. You can't literally like what we were just talking about. Like if you're my homie, I can only back your play so many times when you're the one that starts it every time. You know what I mean?
Even going back to the fucking Mayweather fucking McGregor fight.
That was terrible.
He even put on a good showing. He put on a good showing. At least he showed up to that fucking fight. He wasn't trying to do fucking MMA moves on fucking Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah, no. They sanctioned it as a boxing match, and he actually showed up and fucking boxed.
Yeah.
Unlike last night with fucking
he did better than some like champion level boxers did against fucking Floyd Mayweather too.
Yeah.
Up until he got TKO'd. Like he actually landed more on fucking Floyd Mayweather than like fucking other great fighters landed on him. Yep. Like which that's a good showing. You lost, but like he had a good showing. Like good for him. You know what I mean? Like on shit like that. Like the dude is clearly
that's the last pay-per-view I ever paid for, by the way.
Me too.
He is clearly a world-class athlete, right?
Yeah.
But again, just like we were talking about, if I walk into a bar and Conor McGregor's there, I'm walking the fuck back out, dude. Like I don't want the fucking trouble.
I don't need that drama, that trouble,
zero
the issues that come along with being in a fucking bar with McGregor.
I'm good, man. I didn't spend 2.5 years in Afghanistan to come home and walk into a bar where I know fucking trouble's going to start. You know what I mean?
What backwards fucking pageantry is that?
Thank you. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and so now this leads to even some crazier shit on the reason why he is back. USADA and the UFC have broken up. Now, do you know how this broke, Jay? Do you know how this broke?
I kind of do, but I want you you keep doing. You're doing really good on the news part. So like you keep.
So
yeah.
oh
Go
man,
ahead.
so in May, the UFC and USADA had a meeting that they were going to renew their contracts. Great, fantastic. Everyone was fuck USADA, whatever. This week, USADA put out a post on social media talking about how the UFC terminated that, and we're gonna clear that up on what actually happened, and how the UFC lied to them, and how they feel that Conor McGregor has apparently not been tested for the time span that they have it sanctioned to.
I want you. I'm gonna say this, and from a lot of stuff that I've read, not just this week, I've been keeping up on all of this like for months. They're using Conor McGregor kind of as like the scapegoat. I can tell you right now, very specifically, it's not just Conor McGregor.
Oh, it's not.
It's anybody that lives and trains outside of the United States.
Yeah.
So like look at all the champions that have like last name of like Magomedov or Bababedov or Fedov or whatever, dude. Like all the like
Tsarnaev, yeah.
If they got a last name like that, dude, like they're not getting tested by USADA until they're in the States. And like I'm pretty sure most of them don't train in the States. And like guess what, dude? Like half of them are like champions right now, are like on their way up. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Gee, wonder what's going on there. You know what I mean? Like,
so what you got, Spallini?
So I mean, and we're talking about UFC, we're talking about boxing, we're talking about wrestling this episode. We've kind of covered all of the combat sports.
Yeah.
And one thing we haven't really touched on, and since it's happened, is the UFC WWE merger. Because they're both now under one parent company. They're both under the same parent company. Vince McMahon and Dana White are on the board of directors. Vince McMahon's running one side, Dana White's still running the other, but now they have somebody they answer to versus their own separate companies. And now we've got, like McGregor coming back out of the fucking woodwork. We've got shit happening
absolutely despise the fucking timeline we're living in right now.
Yeah, so
like this shit is so stupid and boring at this point, dude. Like,
well, I mean,
I despise this shit, dude.
So my thing is, it was only a matter of time before UFC and WWE fucking merged together into one fucking under one umbrella.
No, it wasn't supposed to be. No, it wasn't supposed to be like that. No, none of that was supposed to happen.
It wasn't supposed to happen, but it was only a matter of time before it did happen.
No,
and the reason, listen. Jay,
no,
shut up, bitch.
No,
I don't have my button.
No. Go ahead, Joe.
The only reason I say it was a matter of time is because if we look at the WWE over the last 10, 15 years, we've had a lot of UFC fighters transition into fucking sports entertainment and the WWE and walking away from their UFC MMA careers. Ronda Rousey, Brock Lesnar. There's been several others that have gone and moved back and forth between the two promotions.
Okay, I hear what you're saying, but correlation is not necessarily always causation. And like just because they have good crossover appeal does not fucking mean a legitimate MMA organization, specifically the biggest fucking one in the world, should ever fucking merge with something that is fucking considered sports entertainment. Like, especially when we're talking about USADA, we're talking about fucking USADA, which is what the goddamn UFC needed USADA to become legitimate in the fucking first place.
I'm not saying
it's a huge backward step.
I'm not saying the crossovers legitimize the reasoning for the merger, because the crossovers that did happen, the ones that did happen, were great in their own rights for both the UFC and the WWE.
But they were already good athletes on their own.
Like, now there's such a big mix-up. There's so many things, Stephanie McMahon, because of this merger, stepped away from fucking WWE completely.
If drug testing, if USADA drug testing stops in the UFC, like the UFC fucking ceases to become a legitimate organization.
Yeah.
That's straight. Excuse me, within the United States. It ceases to be a legitimate organization because they can't. If everybody's fucking look, either everybody's roided up or nobody's fucking roided up. Like which one's it going to be? But you can't have an organization within that is based within the United States and following the laws of the land within the United States, and then have like fucking over 50% of your fucking training roster training overseas or fucking outside of the fucking realm of fucking USADA, and then coming to the States for like the last month, maybe 2 of their train up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When they can test, right? Like that's what I'm talking about. And then by merging with the WWE, that lacks that's a step down in legitimacy for me. It's like I do not want the biggest MMA organization in the world, the most recognizable brand that represents MMA, you know, in league with something that is fucking sports entertainment.
Yeah. And
like at all. I mean, at fucking all. Because it is a step down in legitimacy. They fought so hard for USADA testing in the first place, just to be seen as legitimate. Do you remember how long it took before they put MMA on TV?
Oh, I know.
It was not that long ago. You couldn't even watch, you know, MMA on TV. It was still considered like human cockfighting, right? Remember all that bullshit back in the day?
Yeah.
It was like, bro, they've come so far as a sport.
And then they do this, and now it's gonna get all fucked up.
They're fucking it up. I'm telling you right now, they are fucking it up hard.
I'm not arguing with that because you know the thing is, I love watching fucking UFC fights. I'm glad that it's gotten to the point now where it's not just pay-per-views. I can tune to fucking ESPN on a fucking weeknight
and get results.
And watch a fucking
fight. You can watch a fight or you get results on SportsCenter. You know what I mean? At least we're getting results. You know, like
where you know, I do feel like this merger is going to fucking do more harm than it is good for the UFC and the WWE, because the WWE and that side of the fucking, you know, combat sports realm, because it's more entertainment than it is. I mean, they're athletes. Don't get me wrong. They're 100% the professional wrestlers in the WWE, AEW, all of these other promotions are fucking athletes, but it's 100% entertainment.
Yeah.
And then you've got MMA where it's 100% real fucking fighting. Yep. And now we're merging these two fucking sports into one company, and shit's going to get totally fucked.
And now we're removing USADA drug testing. And I don't care. Like, I don't even care about like, you know, like all the controversy about USADA. It's like, fuck the controversy. Like UFC brought USADA in to become more legitimate. They're going to get rid of it now, and that's another step down the ladder of legitimacy.
Well, there is more to this story because the story is not done yet. So they started all this drama. USADA. They went out. They didn't make an official announcement. They went out on social media and started talking all this stuff about Dana White and stuff. The next day, an exec, the USADA guy, the bald dude, Jeff, him and another executive from UFC came up in a press conference and announced, and you know, the guy did say, I don't care for the news, and I'm going to say it this way. We called him, and he started crying. He started bitching and started arguing with us. Like, he pretty much like let it all out about how this guy acted, and said that it wasn't a termination. It was just that they were not going to renew the contract because of how they were treating the majority of their fighters on the roster regarding the drug test. So they also announced that USADA is being replaced by Drug-Free Sport International, which does work for the NFL, the NBA, Major League Baseball, and the NCAA, among many other sports organizations around the world.
Well, let's see how it works out. Like I know there's a lot of controversy with USADA and how they operate, and I get that. Here's what I'd like to see: worldwide fucking drug testing for anyone on the fucking roster at any fucking time. You know, just like you have in the States. You should not be able to fucking like deny a drug test. Like if you're on the roster and they're worried about freaking, you know, performance enhancing drugs and things of that nature, like this shit should be 100% across the board for everybody in the organization, or the organization is not legitimate. Like you got champions on the roster that it's
Yeah,
shit. This shit has gotten so boring. Like what if this timeline sucks, dude? Like it's so it's so silly, dude.
Well, let me get.
They're taking all the fun out of the job. Like it's shit's not even fun to fuck. Shit's not even fun to watch anymore. You know what I mean? It's just like, come on.
I'll talk about look. I know I'm almost done talking. I promise you guys. I just got 2 more things I just want to talk about real quick. It is my 11-year anniversary that I left for boot camp today.
No way, dude. Are you serious, dude?
Yeah. So today was the last day. It was the day I said goodbye to all my family. It's been 11 years. Echo 161 War Eagles. You know, we are. You know, we got it done, man. We got it done, baby. All them crazy trainings. That one guy who tried to clean the machine gun and the spring popped up into the ceiling. To the drill sergeant, literally almost beating the shit out of one of the dudes.
I would have probably almost beat the shit out of somebody if I watched them fucking do that.
It was a hell of a run.
Okay? As a 240 Bravo, John, like 240 Bravo that would do that. And yeah, it's a good thing he wasn't pointing it at himself, because it would have hurt.
I was just telling
that'd have been more than just fucking hurt.
I was telling a couple buddies of mine the story that just happened. That happened during boot camp, where we were in the chow line. We just finished eating. We had to leave, and look, Squalini's shaking his head. He's having a traumatizing moment. And I'm sitting there, and I have a tray, my tray with my food in my hand. And I'm looking at this full apple that hasn't even been eaten yet. All right. The perspiration, the sweat from it is still dripping. It's still fresh. And I'm staring at this thing, right? And good old Drill Sergeant Redden comes up to me. He says, "You really want that apple, Private, don't you? You really want it." And I'm like, "Yes, Drill Sergeant, I do." He goes, "Why don't you take a bite? I dare you." Just like that. He was like, "I dare you." Jay shaking his head because he was thinking I would do the same thing. I grabbed the apple.
It's a trap.
I knew it was too, but I still thought
It looked really good. It was like
John in his infinite moment.
Yeah, I really tried so hard to get that bite in, but the moment like the hair of the apple touched my lips, it was like a baseball swing. Like he slapped that apple straight out of my mouth. Like it flew, and everyone was like, and he was like, "You ain't getting the fucking apple." All right, but yeah, so the last thing I do want to talk about is a very special announcement. So I have decided I will no longer be doing video game streams.
What?
Not gonna do it anymore, and the big reason this is because I've been thinking a lot about things that Jay's been saying, right?
Like what? It's me.
Yeah, you. So
what have I been saying, John?
You miss the days where you can enjoy a game, right?
Very much so.
I do too. And I felt like I was trying so hard to want to get the numbers that I wanted to be a game streamer that I wasn't enjoying the games because I was focusing on things that I would not normally focus on if I wasn't streaming. And I just came to the point like, well, what do I do from here? And I thought that I have enough content between DD214, between Clean and Friends, Bong Rips and Video Games, my old podcast, which is coming back, even You, Me, and Lore, and other affiliations that I'm going to get, like XVPW. I'm trying to get a horror movie podcast under my wing right now. I'm trying to help them out. And
cool. That sounds fun. That sounds fun.
So I thought, why don't I create like a channel of streaming podcasts? And not just one podcast, but several different podcasts. And I thought of this because I was scrolling through the TV yesterday, and I was scrolling a couple days ago through through the Peacock live channels, and I thought like they don't have this for podcasts, and I think this would be really cool. Like it would be very interesting to have like a Sling type app,
like an umbrella, yeah, like an umbrella of podcasts, basically.
yeah.
Right.
And what you can do is like just put it on this TV station. You have there's so many. It's like TV. There's history, comedy,
There you go.
adult content, military, and there could be several like different channels among that content. And I just thought, well, let me play with that. So starting tomorrow at 9 a.m. on twitch.tv/Clean Sanchez Media and youtube.com/clean at Clean Sanchez Media, there would be live podcasts for a couple of hours. If you haven't listened to old DD214 Network podcasts, you can listen to them there, or you can just go on the YouTube as well. But everything, I'm going to be playing. I'm going to be sitting there, and actually, I have to thank Squillini too, because if it wasn't for Beacon, and I have to give a big shout out to Beacon too, I'm now able to separate my tracks even more, so that I could just have the podcast running in the background, and I could still like do my other shit on the side, be in a phone conversation without the sound like interfering or transferring. But I'm very excited for this. I think it's a new type of media offense that I'm going for. And I've never seen anything like it, and I'm going to shoot for the stars for this one. But yeah, you can listen to all types of podcasts on there that I am affiliated with, whether I'm your friend, whether I'm on it, whether I don't do it anymore. Those podcasts will be on there. What were you going to say, Squirrely?
I'm going to say one of the best things I heard this week, and I talked about it a little last week. I think just with you two, I've been doing a lot of research, figuring out ways to up my game with Tech Guy Gaming, and not trying to steal a page out of fucking your book here, John, but also Tech Guy Media.
We learn from each other,
because I'm doing a few things, and actually this week on Thursday, I'm officially launching the Tech Guy Media YouTube channel.
Okay. All right.
And I've got, so over the last couple weeks when I've not been streaming, I've been recording a lot of videos. First of which was just a fucking iPhone unboxing. I've got, but my launch video for Tech Guy Media is actually going to be a fucking studio tour of my studio in my home office. I made sure to make sure the fucking office was nice, clean. Everything was fucking dusted down, and I've been playing around with fucking video editing myself because and this last week, one of the creators I follow, another creator I follow that's based out of North Carolina, Biggie, he's on YouTube and Kick, but he said it perfectly. There's no money in just game streaming unless you're an esports player, unless you play for a big esports team. There's no money in the content creation realm.
As a layman,
just video games.
That sounds to me like exactly how it should be. As a layman,
just playing video games live on the internet is not a reliable enough source of income. It should live off of that. Like, because you have to create other content.
If you're not a professional,
other media to make money. So that's where, for me, Tech Guy Media coming out this week's a big jump.
I think it is too. And I just want to say, don't feel bad and feel like you're taking off a page off of my book, because it's such a basic and transferable name. It can be used. You know what I mean?
And then I've also got, and 3 more weeks, the first official Tech Guy Media podcast.
There you go.
Which is a title that John gave me. He gave me the rights to Flagged for Removal, one of his old productions,
which is not Playing in Friends too, actually.
And I'm actually going to be releasing the first ever Flagged for Removal episode.
There you go. Fucking,
I'm doing things. I'm staggering a few of these projects, so it's not like, hey, everybody go watch this YouTube video on Tech Guy Media's YouTube channel, but also listen to this fucking podcast. So it has
to be done.
I've recorded parts of the episode for Flag for Removal. I'm working on recording the rest. I've got Tech Guy Media coming out. I'm also doing so for YouTube, I'm doing Tech Guy Media, which is just going to be kind of a broad umbrella of multiple different projects, whether it's
hey, crazy
setup videos,
I'm talking about right there. Thank you.
Other shit like that. And then I've got Flag for Removal, and then I'm also doing Tech Guy.
The Amber's not too bad. The Amber's not too bad. I'm
also doing
Yuengling's already
Yuenglings are really
they're
good.
already kind of like
but I'm also doing Tech Guy bloopers as like a YouTube Shorts channel and like TikToks and shit of crazy shit happening when like I'm playing Fortnite with the guys and shit.
Oh yeah, that's fucking great, man. I love the sound of it. It's gonna be good. Do you see? That's so. A friend of mine just told me the other day. I was in a group chat with a bunch of people, and like everyone was just fucking talking. And this guy said to me, he was like, "You are the only person who puts out as much content than I know anybody else, and I'm pushing out at least 5-6 podcasts a week now.
Yeah,
which is fucking insane. And I didn't really.
Hard workers work hard. What do you like? What do you want us to say, John? Like, you're a hard worker. Like,
it's like, just keeping up with the grind. I mean,
doesn't fucking surprise me.
Here's the thing.
Surprise me, dude.
So, like, obviously,
It's
John,
for this crazy ace,
Jay,
so I could hide.
Y'all both know I work a full-time fucking job Monday through Friday.
Oh yeah.
But with the way I've got my ecosystem set up, because I've got my Mac, I've got my PC, my Windows PC, I've got an iPad Pro. With my iPad Pro, like while I'm working, if I hit like a lull in work and shit slows down, I've got my iPad linked up to my Mac to where I can pull files from my Mac to my iPad. Yeah. I can edit videos from that, do shit like that, so I can work on my content also while I'm collecting my full-time paycheck if I've got a little bit of a minute in between shit. And I'm trying to get to where I can be like you, John, and not have to work a regular job and just fucking.
You'll get there, man. I promise you.
But at the same time, right now, it's like
if this Hulu streaming platform for podcast kickoff, you definitely have a job. I'll tell you.
Well, you'll need a web developer and a few other things. So,
we should talk about this. Actually, let's talk about this later.
All right, calm down, you two. Fucking, let's keep it omerta here a little bit. Keep it omerta.
Listen. Right? There's some things. Okay, some things just seem like a good idea, and I mean, I really feel like that this is something that it's just.
I honestly, with what John was saying, doing a streaming service for live podcasts makes fucking sense. Doing something where it's more like a TV station or like a TV provider. So you've got different channels for like categories. So like you've got a military podcast channel, you've got a gaming podcast channel, tech podcast, and
a gaming and cannabis podcast.
Fucking A.
And that way it's just a one-stop shop. Because right now, like, I think the only company that has a separate podcast app from like their music shit is Apple. Because Apple's got Apple Music and then Apple Podcast. Google has pretty much lumped everything under fucking YouTube. Because Google used to have Play Music, Google Podcasts, all these other platforms.
Yep. And now
they've just all switched into YouTube.
Can I just throw in how disappointed I've been in like the algorithm of like everything lately? Like, I used to be able to like type in a few certain like keywords and I'd get like exactly what the fuck I was looking for immediately. And now I get like dog shit. I get like straight dog shit, dude. Like
after the last episode, you definitely touched the algorithm, Jay.
What do you mean?
Oh, we reached out and grabbed the algorithm by the balls after last episode.
What do you mean?
156 views.
Oh, fuck all that shit. I'm talking about like when I'm looking for shit. I don't care about our views. You guys know me, man. I'm like, dude, freaking like I sail the fucking 7 seas, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't give a shit about all that for us. I'm talking about like when I need to fucking find something, it's on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah.
And I'm like trying to like type in like certain keywords or something, whether it's a freaking YouTube video, something on Google. You know what I mean? When Google Maps, like, you know, like I live in Kansas City, right? Google Maps will take me through like the hood, right? Instead of keeping like our car on like, you know, like highways and byways, it'll take me through like the hood to save like 1 minute. And it's like, bro, like nobody asked for that shit. Like,
yeah, and actually,
what happened here?
And Crazy Ace is right though, but right before Abe Crazy Ace said that coming, he's bringing in some football. Do you think it's time to talk about some
fucking football right there? None of that pansy ass dick tugging.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Let's talk about some fucking football.
So he says the ball 10 game is crazy. Tannehill got carted off though early in the fourth.
Yeah, Tennessee's still up. I was just looking at that actually.
No, the Ravens are up right now.
That's what I meant. Sorry, the Ravens are up, and then they've got the ball, and they're on the fucking Tennessee fucking like 19-yard line right now. So
yeah, 4th and 1 at the Tennessee 19.
If they get a field goal here, they pretty much sealed. Well, I don't want to say sealed the deal. There's still 4 minutes, but they make it a 2-score game. Make it a 2-score game with freaking like less than 5 minutes to play. So
yeah. So yeah, no, I mean,
did you see fucking Saturday Night Live last night? They had a really funny skit where like it was like Fox NFL Sunday or whatever, and then everybody got caught up like talking about Taylor Swift, and like that was the whole skit. Like,
and didn't Kelsey make fucking Kelsey fucking
at the very end, yeah, like it was like, dude, it was like that. It was funny, and it was funny how they made like, you know, it starts out as like a regular NFL, like, you know, Fox on Sunday thing. Like they introduce everybody and whatever. And then like all of a sudden they start talking about Taylor Swift. And then like it just keeps going back to Taylor Swift.
Well, that's like, I think one of my favorite memes that has happened since the whole Swift Kelsey fucking relationship is on the Eagles. We have Jason Kelsey, and they have a player with the last name Swift.
That was part. That was part of the skit. Like they made that part of the skit.
There was a meme, and it was Kelsey and Swift standing next to each other on the sideline. And it was like, I don't get the whole big deal about this power couple, Swift and Kelsey. And
yeah, like for the Eagles, you know, like, yeah. I like that. That's good. That was actually part of. That was, you know, I think it was what's his name? Pete Davidson hosted last night.
Yeah,
and so like they you know, they opened with like, you know, introducing all of the Fox announcers, right? And then when they went to their like on-field correspondent, it was Pete Davidson, and he was wearing like a pink cowboy hat, and he had like a pink sweater like wrapped around, like, because he was like, there was a rumor Taylor Swift might be at the game today, and they just kept finding.
So he was like a Swiftie on the sideline, kind of.
Yeah, and then that was the funny part about like Kelsey's cameo at the end. It was like I don't know, it was like a 4-minute
teamwork.
You can look it up on YouTube. You can look up the entire skit on YouTube. I think it's like a 4-minute skit, but like Kelsey's cameo at the end was basically like, can we talk about football now? like you know, can we, like, he
realized he done fucked up at this point.
It's fucking awesome, dude. I love it. I love that everybody's kind of like taking it, you know, lightheartedly. You know what I mean? Speaking of which, if we're gonna talk about football, like, can we talk about the fucking debacle on Thursday fucking night with my goddamn Chiefs against the Broncos?
Before we talk about the Broncos debacle, we need to touch on some of the shit from last week.
You're probably right. What do you got? Like, where do you want to start with that one?
First off, Crazy Ace, I know we already talked about it last week, but congrats to your fucking Bears beating the fucking Commanders. Granted, it's the fucking Commanders. However, you know, congrats for, you know, getting a win finally.
It was a good 40-20. I mean, that was a good
40-20. It was a good fucking game.
And on a Thursday night. That was another Thursday night. We're getting ready to talk about the Chiefs fucking shitbaggery on fucking Thursday night. Like,
now
Thursday
the Saints. Saints blew out the fucking Pats.
Yep.
34-0.
That was a big old goose egg on that big old goose egg on the fucking scoreboard on that one.
The Panthers fucking lost their shit against the fucking Lions. Lions are eating everybody's lunch. Lions are fucking eating lunch right now. So the big thing is, though, the Panthers were holding their own through like halfway through the fucking third. They were at a close fucking, 1.5 fucking point score lead. And then just threw it the fuck away.
That's football, baby. That's fucking football. Like, yeah, that's football. Any given Sunday, dude. Like, you got to play the whole game, man. Till the goddamn fucking scoreboard says fucking triple zeros on the fucking clock.
Now, Packers Raiders, really close fucking game, 17-13 on Monday night, which, it's the Packers and the Raiders. The Packers lost their fucking starter, their big players this year. They're in a rebuild. The Raiders, it's the fucking Raiders. Now Thursday night, that fucking Chiefs Broncos game, where the fuck was your team at, Jay?
Nope. Like that. Did you like? I've been saying it. Our offense has been sluggish all year, and like we talked about it.
Y'all have been sluggish all year since the fucking Lions beat y'all by a point. We literally talked about this last week. Our offense has been sluggish. That's my biggest fear. Like the Broncos had us within a score at one point. You know what I mean? Just by scoring and then like converting a fucking 2-point conversion. You know what I mean? Like, thank God our fucking defense is like, I think we're ranked like number 4 right now in the league on our defense. Our defense is fucking saving our asses. Yeah.
Like the Chiefs could legitimately be like 2-3 right now if it wasn't for our defense. Our defense is like saving the day right now. I don't know what the fuck is going on with our offense. Our receiving core is like straight pissing me the fuck off. Our receiving core, like everybody's used to fucking Mahomes and the big plays, right? Travis Kelce fucking saved the game. Like Travis Kelce saved that fucking game on Thursday just by making fucking like regular plays, basically like getting first downs and getting us close enough or getting us far enough downfield that when we had to fucking punt, we had field to work with. Because we fucking did. We went to the fucking red zone 4 straight times in the first half, and the score was still 3-0. 4 straight times, and the score was still 3-0. Like there is no excuse. Like that should have been like the score should have been like 21, maybe 24, possibly 28-0 at the half, and it was like and it was 10-0. It was 10-0. Okay, like if there's any indication, like that game should have been a fucking blowout, and it turned into a fucking game because our offense just was not firing on all cylinders. Again, we are 4-1 right now, despite ourselves. You know what I mean? Despite ourselves.
Yeah,
we're 4-1. Like that record belies how bad the offense is clearly struggling here in Kansas City. Go ahead, Joe.
I mean, that's the thing. So, like, if we go and look at fucking the Cowboys-Niners games last week, which both of us said it was going to be a fucking close game, and then it ended up being a blowout.
Just a
the Niners did to us what we did to the fucking Jets, what we did to the Patriots, what we did to the fucking Giants. The Niners did to us because the team did not fucking show up. Yep. We are still making the same mistakes that we did at week 3 or 4, whichever it was, when, we just bad plays, bad calls, fucking getting penalties out the ass.
Yeah.
And I'm going to sound like a fucking broken record. McCarthy, if you ever come across this fucking podcast and hear this, cover your goddamn fucking mouth, you sack of shit. You're giving the playbook away.
Yeah.
All right. Now that I've had that rant.
People can read lips. Well, I also want to say, like, give me 1 second here. Let me finish typing this. Despite ourselves, this is an actual fact. It has now been over 2,950 days since the Denver Broncos have beaten the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, what I will say with that, we are playing again. We're playing our second game this season against them in 2 weeks in Denver. This game, we played like shit in front of our own fucking people here, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to fucking Denver. We're going to Mile High in fucking 2 weeks. I sure as shit hope that Mahomes and fucking Kelsey and the Swift fucking bandwagon, fucking whatever the fuck's going on, like, I hope they fucking get it together because we're going to be in Denver in 2 weeks. And if they want to keep this fucking streak alive, like, we've now beaten the Denver Broncos, I think, 17 times in a row.
Yeah.
Like, the Denver Broncos have literally won a Super Bowl more recently than they've beaten us. Okay, like, that's how far back it goes. And that victory was only because of a last-minute fumble by Jamal Charles, of all people. So we would already be at, like, 18, believe it or not. Like,
no.
We still beat them, but, like, boy, was that a piss-poor, disappointing fucking, like, performance on the offense. Like, thank God for our defense. Thank God for our fucking defense, dude. That's all I can say.
So now on to the rest of the games for this week. And then I do want to say, at least next week, the Cowboys, it's their bye week. So, I at least have that going for me in week 7.
Right.
And holy shit, we're coming up on fucking week 7.
That's what happens.
It seems like just fucking a week ago, we were talking about the start of the fucking season.
Looks like the Ravens are going to take it against the Titans. Titans have the ball, but it's 1st and goal at the Baltimore 5, but it's 24-13 now. So it is a close game. So we'll see if they go for the onside kick here in a minute. Keep going with what you're saying, Joe. Sorry.
So, the rest of the games outside of Ravens Titans, which is actively going, has been going since I'm assuming before we started the fucking episode today.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to go ahead and say it. Dolphins are going to fucking blow the Panthers out the fucking water.
I'm curious to see, like, how bad that one gets. I'm curious to see, like, exactly.
It's going to almost be, I feel it in my soul. And this is, my fiance's a fucking Panthers fan. She's already said she's not bothering watching the fucking game after what the fucking Dolphins did to Denver. So
let's see.
I told her I'm putting the fucking game on because I want to see. Because who knows? This might be the week the fucking Panthers actually pull something out their ass and fucking get a win. That's the thing I love with fucking football is it's 50-50. No matter what.
It's week by week.
It's week by week. No matter what your fucking stats are going
into
the game or anything.
Bad,
it depends on the mentality of the team when they hit the fucking field.
Everything. Like it is such a wild and eclectic mix. That is exactly why football is so hard to predict.
Proof with that is the 49ers Cowboys game last week. Me and Jay both. It's going to be a close game.
It's going to be a close game.
Don't sleep on the Cowboys. Broncos and Chiefs this week. That game
should have been a blowout.
Proof right there. It's never guaranteed. You could be fucking 13-0 for the season and end up fucking coming in and your players having a shitty week.
Yep.
And you lose the fucking game to a team that's 1-2.
That's correct. That is absolutely correct.
Of course, my money's on the Dolphins just because I have to root for whatever team you're playing against.
If you don't take the fucking Dolphins in this one, dude, like, get your fucking head examined. If you're a fucking betting person, take the fucking Dolphins today. Jesus, I'm not a gambler. I'm not a gambler, but Jesus Christ, get your head examined if you're not taking the fucking Dolphins.
So stop gambling.
Stop gambling.
We've got so it's 25 minutes now till the 1:00 games start. Yep. So I'm taking Dolphins over Panthers.
Agree.
With Saints 100%. Versus Texans.
I'm not. That's a game I would not gamble on. See, like Dolphins is like fucking free money. Dolphins is like free money.
But you saw my pause there too.
I'm not fucking picking that game.
No. Commanders versus Falcons.
Not picking that game either. Not picking that game either. You're going crazy on me, dude. Like I'm not going to pick those games. Vikings Bears. Do the Vikings find a way to lose?
Hard no.
Or do the Bears find a way to win?
Hard no.
with the Colts versus the Jags.
Which one?
Jags Colts.
Ooh, again, dude. Why do you? Yeah, this is why I don't gamble.
Thing.
You're picking all these games like I would not.
Well, I'm just going down the fucking list of who's playing who right now.
Here's Jay's picks for fucking who to bet on. This is like easy money. Dolphins are gonna win today. Fucking Eagles are gonna win today.
Lions have the Bucks.
Fucking Sunday night football. Fucking the Bills are gonna fucking beat the Giants.
Okay, the Bills are gonna fucking blow the Giants out the fucking
There's your
wall.
trifecta. There's your trifecta. Let's check it next week. Jay's picking a trifecta.
And so I'm not even
Dolphins, Eagles, and fucking Bills. There's a trifecta. Let's check it next week and see if Jay should start fucking gambling.
And after the bullshit that happened last week with the Cowboys, I'm not even putting any fucking. I'm not even going to make a fucking
against the Chargers.
Against the Chargers.
Yeah, on Monday night. Yeah, Chargers Monday Night Football. Yeah. Let's find out. Like
that game's going to be you got to watch it to figure it out because it could go either way with how the Cowboys have been playing this season.
I was going to say, and after last week, after seeing the Cowboys performance last week, freaking like yeah, you could say 60-40, dude. I got Dolphins, Eagles, and fucking Bills. Fucking let's see next week. Let's see next week.
And I will agree with those calls. Those calls, I am 100% agree.
You've only been wrong like only half the time, or maybe a little less than that with your trifecta.
Well, that's the joy with football. You're only wrong half the time.
What do you mean I've only been wrong? I don't make a lot of picks all the time.
No, I know, but when you do, only very minuscule amounts.
I think this is the first official full football season I've been on the show.
Well, and also a lot of my picks we used to do MMA. And that's why I don't gamble in MMA at all. Like at all. Now, because I have never scored a trifecta in MMA, and that's why I have never gambled with MMA. I have like as easy as some of those picks seem to be, there's always one that like fucks me out, and that's why I've never spent money on it. For football, for the shit that I'm looking at right here, Dolphins, Eagles, Bills. Get yourself a fucking trifecta. Let's check it next week, and maybe if I got one next week, I'll go try it out at the local sports casino. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see.
Now that we finished up football, I do want to touch on something here.
You want to touch something? Not me. You're not.
Jesus Christ, Joe! Be careful with your words there. Dude.
I said touch on something, not touch something. I specifically threw an extra word in there to make it less perverted. Granted, John, my hands have been all up inside your PC already.
Yeah, and that's as far as they're gonna get too.
But so earlier we were talking about fucking boxing and UFC and WWE and shit, and I know at some point I'd like to cover more than just football. I'm not a big baseball guy. Never really have been. I've always been football.
Me and John are going to be talking about that next week.
Yeah,
me and John will be talking some baseball next week. Dude, how about them Diamondbacks, John? Do you see the Diamondbacks made it?
This may be the first time where both of our teams didn't like pass the wild card. Because like both of our teams are not in there at all. Hockey.
Well, you're what? For baseball, you're a Yankees fan, and then Jay, what's your baseball team?
The fuck do you think it is? Are you high? You don't even fucking smoke weed, Joe. What the fuck? Are you high? What team do you think I fucking root for? I live in Kansas City, Missouri. Thank you.
Royals.
Thank you. Thank you, Joe. How long have you been on this podcast? How long have you been on this podcast again?
Not long enough for us to really talk fucking baseball.
Oh my God. Oh, I got it, man. God.
So,
Joe, you're so much better. See, I love the dust on that too, John. That gives it fucking. See?
The dust on it's about the last time the fucking Royals have made it to a World Series.
You mean less than 10 years ago? You mean less than 10 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
When we made it twice and we won one?
You recognize this, Jay?
The ashtray?
This is from Jack Stacks. This was the barbecue plate.
Yeah, there you go. Yes.
So I'm going to actually touch on some fucking WWE shit for a second here.
Let's hear it.
So last weekend, they had Fastlane, which is one of their pay-per-views they do. And fucking Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso won the undisputed tag team titles. There's been clips all over the fucking internet of the press conference afterwards and shit. So Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso were the very first fucking match of the night for Fastlane. They fucking win the titles from, was it? They win the titles. They go back to their fucking buses, shit like that. Yeah. First off, really weird duo because Cody Rhodes and the Bloodline, when Jey Uso was with the Bloodline still before that beef happened, were fucking at odds, fucking at each other's throats and shit. But they go back to their bus after the match. They're, throwing back some celebratory drinks and shit. They show up to the fucking press conference. Fucking Jey Uso's barking like a fucking dog into the microphone. Cody and fucking Jey are just drunk as shit at this fucking press conference.
Jesus.
Just making it's just fucking. But again, here's the thing. The way I look at it is if they showed up and say this was a UFC press conference after a fucking octagon match, completely fucking unprofessional. With it being WWE and it's sports entertainment, all they did was provide more entertainment after the fucking match by showing up to this fucking press conference drunk as shit.
Fair. That's I would actually like, okay, we talk a lot about being, our like this podcast is like sometimes like not always, but sometimes like close to 50-50 kayfabe, right? Like I would consider them showing up drunk to a press conference absolutely 100% kayfabe. It's got to be kayfabe. Like even if you are legitimately intoxicated, that should be considered kayfabe in the industry. Yeah. That should be does not excuse ill comments or fucking.
It was a very candid moment.
But see,
you could tell.
But see, the thing is, saying. The thing is, they weren't like belligerently drunk.
Right.
They were just like being retarded, being stupid.
It was obvious. It was
barking into the fucking microphone, constantly saying "yo."
That's a clown show, bro. That's a clown question, homie. That's just a clown question, bro. Like, yeah,
and then also with Fastlane, fucking John Cena's back in the WWE right now.
Why is anybody surprised about that? Like, why would anybody?
Here's the thing. So Triple H already came out and said they're not doing any big story arcs with John Cena because the only reason he's back in WWE right now is because of when he came back to WWE, it was in the middle of the fucking writer's strike and the SAG-AFTRA strike. Now that those strikes are over and production can start back on the second season of Peacemaker and shit like that, they're expecting Cena to have to step away from the fucking ring again. So yeah.
So basically that's just a very corporate way of saying that the WWE is anti-union.
That's
right. I heard you loud and clear. Heard you loud and clear, Triple H. Fucking way to stick it to the man, D-Generation X. Way to stick it to the man. Fucking anti-union. I heard you loud and clear there, Triple X. Triple X, Triple A, whatever the fuck your name is.
DX turned into what Rage Against the Machine turned into. Like exact same story.
Well, that's the thing. If you look at fucking like the corporate fucking roster for WWE,
all DX,
all of fucking D-Generation X is on the fucking corporate roster.
Except
Shawn Michaels,
except Billy Gunn and Sean Waltman.
But goddamn, there goes the fucking thumbs up again. Hey.
Yeah, thumbs up for fucking unions. Thumbs up for workers' rights. Fucking
thumbs down for sticking it to the fucking man.
Thumbs up. The writer's strike is over.
Thumbs down to all you fucking like want to be like.
But
fucking, like,
like
just fucking sellouts, dude.
Most of D-Generation X is in fucking WWE corporate roles now. Shawn Michaels is part of running development, so he's over on the NXT side. Triple H has been in fucking corporate for years at this point.
Yeah, Road Dogg, who's been a writer for fucking years, and I have the same birthday with him. Billy Gunn's in AEW, and Sean Waltman just doesn't want to be part of it.
Hey, real quick, before I forget, I gotta send a shout out, dude. Like, bro, it's fucking. Guess whose fucking birthday it is today, dude?
Brandon Wainers. Yeah?
I thought it was his birthday yesterday.
I think it's his birthday today. Who else got a birthday today?
Fucking friend of the show. Fucking Chris Bodette.
Oh,
Fucking-
yeah.
fucking Bodette.
He was fucking
Yeah.
crying. He was thanking Taylor Swift for his win the other day.
Dude, fucking happy birthday, Cuddles. We fucking love you, dude.
Wow.
Fucking love you.
So happy birthday to Chris Bodette and also
And
Brandon
fucking Wayner.
too. You know, they're both friends of DD214. So
Yeah.
happy birthday to you, fuck nuts.
Yeah, dude. Like happy fucking birthday to fucking all of you guys, dude. Like you guys are freaking awesome. We love you.
We appreciate the support y'all have all shown to the show over the 3
let's-
years.
Let's talk about that real quick, and let's
damn it.
end the show with that before we get to the final thought, because we had a fucking. I mean, we were just talking about it before the show. We just had a really sweet uptick this year, the last couple months alone. I want to know your thoughts about it.
I wouldn't really, looking at the analytics, I wouldn't really call it an uptick over the last couple months. However, whatever the fuck we did last week, that was an uptick.
Which is weird.
Because over the last couple months, we've had a few episodes that have hit the 70, 80 mark in viewership. But this fucking last episode from last week, last Sunday's live, when it got uploaded to YouTube, what are we at? 156 now for views on that fucking episode. And the thing is, when we were talking about it earlier, John, it was 155.
Yeah.
So one person has watched it since we started fucking this episode.
Well, that's weird. It's almost like we're being watched.
Yeah, I mean, it's.
Well, I
it
mean,
is-
that's the whole reason of going live on the internet is to get watched. But,
and I
Apparently.
know, and I will say, and I call it an uptick because just a couple months ago, we didn't even have that many subscribers. Since we made the move to YouTube, more people are watching the show. Like I predicted, I predicted that once we left the fucking hellhole of Facebook, that we would start seeing a better
I've
search.
been saying that since the fucking day I came on the show with you.
Yeah.
Since the day y'all told me, hey, we want you on here with us full time.
Yeah, man. And so we're here, and the show's doing. I'm happy. I'm pretty happy with it. We're coming up with new ideas, new comedic things that just keep on happening, like time and time again. It's like
it's not hard.
It's
the only person I know that Facebook has worked out for is fucking Crazy Ace.
That's true.
Yeah, but
for some fucking reason,
I can see exactly why it worked out for him though.
But his Discord always says that he's playing Google Chrome.
Well,
Anywho,
he perma sets it to say Google Chrome, so that way we don't know he has Pornhub pulled up in his fucking VR headset.
I mean, dude, you got to do what you got to do, homie. Like sometimes, just saying, I'm kind of an aficionado myself.
Fucking comment from fucking Ace now. I'm just waiting for it.
It'll come. It'll come. No, but yeah, I cannot wait to start working on the best of 2023 for DD214.
Oh god,
I expect a lot of hot nuts in your mouth fucking clips in the fucking best of.
That'll probably be the shortest part of it though. Like I can already think of like several that
go one, Ace.
You too, Ace.
Outside of that, I can think of several that are outside of that one. That like, yeah, and that's the beauty. That's the beauty of being like relatively unknown. Is like when I go back and watch some of our episodes, like I get tickled because like there's like shit where like we say like all three of us say stuff randomly sometimes that like just perfectly like it was in the moment. It was in the moment. Yeah. And if you're listening to the podcast like driving down like a road and like kind of like half paying attention, because you're driving, you know what I mean?
That's fucking the moment that fucking grabs you.
You'll fucking miss it. As far as like it being like
sometimes you may hear like a
yeah. And
so I do want to fucking talk about that specific right there because when I'm driving and I'm in the car by myself and my phone connects through CarPlay to my fucking car stereo system and shit, I always pull up a random episode of the fucking podcast. listen to when I'm fucking driving. There was one episode that shit started playing where like a gun sound effect fucking started playing in the background as I'm pulling up to a fucking drive up, like the speaker box at a drive through to get fucking food. And I about jumped out the fucking car because I had
that's your
speakers
fault.
fucking crank the fuck up.
Yeah,
Well,
that's your
I
fault.
actually-
That's your fault for leaving it too loud.
No, if you know, we actually, our old producer, we actually had to tell him to stop using a specific sound because it was too loud and we were afraid someone would get into a car accident. Do you remember this, Jay?
Yeah. Well, and it wasn't exactly his fault. It was
his fault. He kept on pressing it.
Well, when he no, what I'm saying is how because it didn't sound as loud. Like it sounded loud to us, like during the show, but when you listen to it, like when you listen to it again, like after John would upload it, to YouTube, when you listen to it on YouTube, it was like violent. It was like violent, and it was like, which was like in hindsight, it was pretty funny. You know what I mean? Like like anarchy, yay, right? Like, but I was like, John, do you remember when you fucking like hit me with that fucking? Do you remember when you hit me with that jerk mate? The fucking jerk mate? Like, God damn it.
Ever heard of jerkmate?
Yeah, and I remember, like, I told the producer, I was like, I need you to stop pressing that. He was like, why? I'm like, because you're gonna get someone into a car accident, like legitimately.
Like legitimately, if they're listening while driving, like that might get dangerous.
Yeah, like, and we told him, like, do not press the button. It is distracting. It is loud, and you could really scare the shit out of somebody. Hence the gunshot scaring the shit out of Squilini. You know, like it's real. Like I was really concerned that it was going to become an issue of, oh my God, someone's going to get into a car accident and we're going to get sued for it. So
they're gonna blame fucking DD214 Gaming, right?
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
But see, the problem is, what's going on, Strange Dabs?
Man,
the problem is, like right now, if they were to sue us, what are they going to get?
Dude, we're looking at Rocky 5 shit, man. Like, sue me for what,
bro?
I'll have to sell my left testicle to be able to fucking pay off fucking whatever we owe for this lawsuit.
Hey, bro, like, I mean, like, dude, like, you can't sue me for fucking shit I don't have, homie. Like,
well, I mean, in case you didn't know, you can technically get $60K for selling your left nut.
Is really?
I've looked into it. I've done the research. Yep, you can sell your left testicle for $60,000.
Can you get rid of both of them?
Legally.
Can you get rid of both of them and like fucking get like prosthetics?
For some weird fucking reason, they will only take the left one.
Squilini, thank you so much for reminding me.
I love how we're discussing like organ donation while still living here. Like,
you just reminded me of something super important that I need to talk to everybody about before we get into the fucking final thought.
Well, like
donating your organs on the black market for $60,000 is not okay.
Do you? Okay.
Checking yourself for cancer, like checking your nuts for cancer. Okay. Like,
there's a class action lawsuit with Steam right now, and you could get money today. Okay.
For what?
If you bought video games from the Steam store, you may have paid more than you should have due to potentially illegal and excessive fees charged to the game publishers by Steam operators.
Surprise!
So keep reading to find out what you can do and why you may be owed up to 60% of each game's purchase price. Squilini, I'm going to send you the link so that you have this because I know you're a big avid user of Steam. I'm also going to
I've already filed into the lawsuit. I've got it.
So my question is, what do your stats look like? How much have you spent?
When?
Since the last 4 years.
During what? In the last 4 years?
Yeah, that the lawsuit states.
I think I've dumped about $6,000.
$6,000? Holy shit! So I've only spent $700, almost $800 on Steam, but I've only
with
had
the lawsuit.
4 years.
With the lawsuit, I can easily get back at least 4,000 of that.
So a mutual friend of ours, I don't want to put his financial business out there, I'm looking at his card right now. So at the Steam database, it turned out that he $11,178. That's a lot of fucking money.
That's just buying every fucking game imaginable.
Yeah, and the thing about this specific person is that he 100% every single one of them.
Oh, well, that's kind of my thing now.
Yeah, he's just, which I'm almost there with Starfield, but yeah, I mean, oh look at you,
Fuck
Jay.
that game.
Hey,
Now,
hey.
if you guys want your money, go ahead. That there's the link there. But guys, we're here at the end, and I just want to say before we talk about the final thought, make sure you guys check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and of course here on YouTube. What's up, Scolini?
When did the fucking iHeartRadio thing start?
I don't know, but we're on iHeartRadio.
How are you the fucking producer and you don't know? Legitimate questions, John. Legitimate questions.
When I was doing all the new stuff, like some of the new graphics, I had to get some official brand logo. These aren't Google logos. Like these were brand logos from the actual. You know how it is, Squilini. You go in, they have the trademark. So I downloaded them, and when I was looking through it, it had all this shit, and it was just like, oh, you're a part of iHeartRadio. We're also on Breaker, Google Podcasts, which is going into YouTube Music.
I'm still stuck on the iHeartRadio part. Like, first off, you're our producer, and how did you not know this until you went to go get logos? Like,
I knew we were on
real world questions. Do we need to sidebar this till after we go off the air? Because
no, it's just
don't kick him while he's down, Squilini. Jesus fucking Christ! Like, all right.
What's funny is that when I went to check, when I logged into the iHeartRadio like thing, there's a few listeners on there, right? But what's funny is that every single episode, other than the ones that were not there, are there. And I'm just like, wow, this is kind of cool. We're on iHeartRadio, so now we're just waiting for Sirius XM.
Wow.
But see, then at the same time, I really question people that use iHeartRadio, because who the fuck uses iHeartRadio anymore? Of course, our producer that didn't know we were on iHeartRadio uses iHeartRadio.
I'm a radio guy. I'm a radio guy. I love it all. I'm not
Nothing wrong with
prejudiced,
that.
man.
Nothing wrong.
No,
with
there's nothing wrong with that. But
check
we'll
out.
move on.
Check all that stuff out. Listen to old episodes. Check out Clean Sanchez Media on YouTube and Twitch tomorrow at 9 a.m. for the podcast stream. It's going to be fun. We're going to have a good time.
And Thursday, watch for the launch of Tech Guy Media on YouTube.
That's right. That's right. So let's fucking do it, guys. So who's taking the final thought?
Who are you pointing at?
One of you.
Who you got, Joe?
Why do you have a dildo in your hand?
It's not a dildo. It's a pipe.
Oh, same. Something I suck on.
I had an electric razor in boot camp, and I fucking left it in the bathroom one day, right?
So at this point, I'm going to say John needs to do the final thought.
Yeah, I'll take it. So the fucking drill sergeant pulled out the razor, and he was like, all right, who's this? And he pressed it. He started vibrating. He was like, oh, I didn't know we had vibrators in here. Anyway, guys, we're here at the final thought. We're here at the final part of the show. We don't get tired of it. I don't get tired of promoting suicide awareness. I love talking about it because I think you just need to talk about it. So if you are alone, always know that you are not actually ever alone. You have us. You have friends and family. Give yourself some time to open up a little bit, okay? We go through hard days. And I've said it before, the depression, the anxiety, the emotions, they don't discriminate. So if you're feeling down, if you're feeling hurt, if you hate the world, talk to somebody. You can hit the National Suicide Hotline at star 988. That's 1-800-273-8255, 1-800-273-TALK, or star 988.
You can also dial 988 directly.
You can.
Yeah. You can dial it directly, and it will take you basically to the where the 800 number goes.
Fantastic. And that's even better, guys. Thanksgiving is coming up, Halloween's coming up. I say this every year when around the fall time. The fall time seems to be a very devastating time for a lot of families. Family members losing family members recently and not being able to spend those Thanksgivings and those Christmases with them, guys. We're good. I'm gonna put it out there right now. If you don't have a place to eat a turkey, if you're feeling alone, give me a call. We're in it. We're in this together. There are VFWs. There are American Legions. There are resources for you. If you are homeless, try your best to get your resources together and put yourself in a shelter. It's gonna be a brutal winter this year, and I think it's safe to say that because it's pretty damn cold this whole weekend alone. The it's getting bad. This year alone has been a devastating year as far as deaths go, and that's in and outside of celebrity and influencers and things like that. Personally, it's very hard to talk about because even in the fall time, I start thinking about my mother-in-law. And that's still pretty recent too. And I just want everyone to know that you guys aren't alone. You guys are loved. We love you. We hope to see you in 168 hours. No more, no less, or maybe a couple minutes late. But you know how it is, guys. You know how it is. But
168 hours and 15 minutes.
From North Carolina to Kansas City to good old everybody's favorite state, New Jersey. We love you. We love you. Make sure you watch some football and catch up with us next week while we talk more about football and more shenanigans.
Baseball too. We got baseball next week, John. We got baseball next week.
I guess this week I'll watch some game. I'll watch whatever fucking baseball games are on, so that way I'm not completely lost next.
At least it's the playoffs. At least it's the exciting part.
I intentionally left baseball off this week because of some of the stuff that happened in the wild card round. So next week we're gonna do baseball and football. So tune in.
It's gonna be fun. We love you guys. Never trust a man with a mustache. You know the deal.
If you're gonna fucking tap it, wrap it. If you can't fucking pull out, dude, don't be a dummy and shoot on her tummy. All right, fucking goddamn it,
That's right.